Do you ever look around and think, wow, the world is a crazy place, and it just seems to get crazier and crazier? Ease your mind and take a break. This is Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We're a hub for inspirational Christian sermons, practical keys for Christian living, and Christian discussions and interviews. You'll be inspired to live the life that you were created for. Your host is a top-ranking podcaster, best-selling author, world record holder, aerospace engineer, life coach, evangelist, and founder of John Giftah International. Welcome to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah.
Hello everyone, welcome to this edition of the Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah podcast. I want to just dive in a little bit more, as you would have seen in the previous episode where Senchita, Michael and I was talking about getting clarity in life. And today I just want to talk about one of those aspects, and for the next couple of days I want to just dive in a little bit more onto each of these to remind you and to challenge you to make this a part and parcel of your life. Because a lot of times we just go by the flow where we say, you know what, I don't know how I can get clarity in my life. I'm not sure where do I begin. And we spoke about the overview of the aspect with regard to getting clarity in life. And today, the first and foremost thing I want to remind you and I want to talk to you about is the emphasis on, if you want to start with regard to getting clarity in life, the first and foremost thing you need to do is get to that place where you develop your walk with God. You know, I always say this very respectfully. You know, a lot of times people say to develop your walk with God is all about spending more time. You know, a lot of time people focus more on the quantity of time with God than on the quality of time with God. I want you to remember something. What is more important, I mean, I'm not saying that quantity or the more time you spend with God is not necessary, or, you know, that it's a waste of time or something. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is sometimes people spend 10 hours in the presence of God, but it's all about 10 hours being clocked in. But in terms of transformation, in terms of actual change in their life, in terms of actually receiving a word from the Lord, a revelation that will transform their life, there is zero. Why? Because what will actually make the difference of you encountering God is not just you talking to God, but it is a moment when you are in a personal relationship with the Lord to an extent where you hear the voice of God and where you have something solid you can say, this is what the Lord told me. This is the encounter I had with the Lord. This is the experience that the Lord allowed me to go through. This is what happened when I spent time with the Lord, and there is some solid plan that comes out through it. Are you getting what I'm saying? The most important thing I want you to focus on in terms of getting clarity with God, first and foremost, is getting clarity in hearing the voice of God. You know, I'll talk more about how to hear the voice of God maybe in episodes down the line, because I believe there are so many people who are asking these questions a lot of times. But today, first and foremost, remember, your first priority should be to hear the voice of God, to be in a place where you don't just emphasize on how much time you spend with God, but on the quality of your time with God, such that even if all you get from the Lord in a certain time is getting one verse that is exact to your spirit, or one revelation that changes your perspective, or one touch from the Lord that changes things, that's what you need to focus on. Not just mugging up, not just getting, you know, your checklist for the day done, not just focusing on, you know what, I need to complete the Bible in a year. I mean, I'm all for doing that if that's the way the Lord is leading you to complete the Bible in a year. But sometimes people are more focused on the tick mark of completing the Bible, tick mark of going around with this pride in saying, you know, I completed the Bible, rather than actually slowing down to receive the word that the Lord wants to give them. And today, this is the word I want to share with each one of you, that you will get to that place where your heart is in a place where you say, God, I want to hear you. I want you to be in a place where you're able to receive the word from the Lord, the touch from the Lord, the encounter of the Lord, the Rama word, the spoken word from the Lord, which will unlock things in your life. So the first and foremost thing that you need to pursue with regard to getting a clarity from God is you getting clarity in hearing the voice of God, because that's where things will change. Because I'm telling you, a lot of times people focus on hearing the voice of God much later, or they even forget about clarity in that hearing the voice of God in the area of getting clarity, because their emphasis is more on all the practical tools. Do this, you'll get clarity. Do that. See, all of that, there are tools to use, right? But it should all stem from the place of hearing the voice of God. Because I'm telling you, one of the biggest mistakes a lot of people make is just go by the flow of all the advice people give and then using the tools based on that. But if you're only listening to all the advice from people and never taking time to listen to the one who created you himself, you will miss out on the blueprint for your life, because God is the one who created you, not people. People will not understand what God is doing, because that is where you need to get that important thing where you say, you know what, people may mean well, they may say 100 things, but what is God saying about my situation? I want to just close with this important thing. Last year, one of the decisions I had to make was with regard to getting the visa for one of the countries. It was not an easy thing, and there were a lot of hurdles coming along the way. And there were good, well-meaning people who told me this, John, you're wasting your time on this. So many people got rejected. It's not going to happen. On paper, you don't have what it takes to get this visa. It's not going to work out. You better just, forget about it. You're wasting your time. You're not. But in the midst of that, the Lord constantly, kept on ringing this into my spirit, saying, go for it, go for it, go for it. And not only did God put that in me through the Spirit, there were also some prophetic words spoken by certain people saying, which are in confirmation to what was already in my spirit, saying, go for it, this is your moment. So what I did was, in the midst of all the well-meaning people who said, don't go for it, I listened to the voice of God. You see, clarity comes from God. You know what? I'm scared. It looks like I'm going to waste my money, my time. It looks like I might get into disappointment if it doesn't work out. It looks like I might look like a fool if, all this, because it was not easy. The first round, I had to go to a certain place. The second round, I had to go to another consulate. And again, not in the city that I'm in. So I had to go to another city. I had to fly in, fly out, the accommodation. And I spent a huge sum of money, over almost, let's say, $1,000 in that whole process, and I was like, is it really worth all of this? But you see, when God leads you, even if other people say no, when God leads you, He gives you the victory. And by the grace of God, He gave me the victory. People said it's not possible. And the very one of the persons who was a well-meaning person, he's a pastor friend of mine. He said, you know what, I actually feel sorry that I told you not to do this, but I see God's hand was upon you. You see, only after I got the victory, He recognized it. But the very same person told me before that I'm wasting my time trying to get this visa. So what I'm trying to tell you guys is this, first and foremost thing you do is, in terms of clarity, is go to that place where you know for a fact that this is what God wants you to do, by hearing His voice. Even if it doesn't feel right, even if on paper it doesn't look fine, even if it looks like you're looking like a fool, in the natural there seems to be no way out, it doesn't matter. If God is asking you to do something, go for it, because when you do that, God will bless you, God will honor you, and you will eventually see the clarity that you're hoping for in your life. Amen. I hope to see you guys in the next segment, where I'll talk about the next aspect with regard to getting clarity in life. God bless you.
You've been listening to Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. We hope you were blessed and inspired to live the life that God has for you. Make sure to subscribe to the John Giftah YouTube channel for regular uploads of sermons, skits, interviews, and more. Follow John Giftah on Instagram for regular inspirational posts. And don't forget to check out the best-selling books written by John Giftah, Who Am I?, which will help you understand your identity, and the latest #1 bestseller, Unveil fulfill your purpose, helping you discover your purpose and to start walking in it. Make sure to leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends and loved ones. If you'd like to donate, you can find the PayPal link in the description. And if you'd like to invite John Giftah to speak at your event or to get more details, go to the website at www.johngiftah.com. See you on the next episode of The Fuel for the Soul with John Giftah. God bless you.